Welcome back to the show. It is one of the most highly anticipated productions to come to Ottawa. It's been running for quite some time, but it is one of the most moving, one of the most incredible musicals that has ever been produced, multi-award winning. I'm talking about Come From Away. It's coming to the NAC December the 27th until January 8th, and we have the great pleasure of introducing to one of its cast members, Julia Knitel, joining us on the show. Julia, how you doing? Where do I find you today, Julia, on your tour?
I am in South Bend, Indiana, playing a beautiful theater, actually an old vaudeville house. We're having a lovely
Oh,
time.
nice. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be a real treat for all of you. For our viewers
Oh, yeah.
out there, I think everybody's probably heard about the production itself, but give us the storyline, Julia, of Come From Away and what makes it such a unique and special production.
Yeah. Well, on 9/11, when obviously the great tragedy that happened on that day happened, the American airspace was closed. And so there were thousands and thousands of planes that had to land somewhere. And many of them landed in Canada, and 38 of them landed in a small town called Gander, Newfoundland, which used to have the biggest airport in North America and had been sort of, downsized quite a bit, didn't have many flights each day, and suddenly was bombarded with 38 planes and 7,000 people, which almost doubled their population overnight. And in the classic Canadian style, they said, "Come on in, we're going to take care of you, we're going to make the most of this, we're going to have a lovely time." And it's a story about the next 5 days when those planes still couldn't take off and bring these people back home, how the Ganderites took them all into their homes and into their bars and into their restaurants and took incredible care of them and really made some beautiful, life-changing memories together.
Yeah. Yeah, and based on true stories, right? Like hundreds of true
Oh, yeah.
stories. I know that the writers and researchers, they had their work cut out for them because there were so many amazing stories to go through, and I think that's what moves people when they see this production. Tell me about your multiple roles, because all the cast members play multiple roles, right?
Yeah, I actually play a reporter,
Okay.
similar to you, and it's her first day of work. So she's a little overwhelmed. She's new to town. And obviously, to have 9/11 be the first day of on the job is a little overwhelming. So she kind of gets right down to getting people information and making sure people have what they need. And it's very high stakes. But she's got a beautiful little story arc that you'll have to come see the show to find out. But I also play a flight attendant on one of the planes that is diverted, along with several other smaller characters. We all play many, many roles. Some people, tens of roles.
Wow.
And makes for a lot of fun to watch as an audience member.
Yeah, a lot of fun to watch, but I mean, as an actor, you're triple threats. You're talking, song and dance and acting. Do you relish in that challenge, Julia?
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, this show is truly an actor's dream. We get to take on a really beautiful story that moves people, and we also get to have a lot of fun while doing it. It's very rare that you get a full principal company that also acts as an ensemble, because there's so many times where we pass the ball and we get to allow every single person in the company to shine in many different ways at many different times throughout the show. So it's extraordinary. It really is a dream of a show to do.
How would you describe the music? Because it's not necessarily like other conventional musicals that maybe we're accustomed to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What's really unique about Come From Away is that our music takes a lot of Irish influence and a lot of Canadian influence, and it makes for a very different oral experience than the average musical. It's not like a full horn section or, a lot of traditional orchestral instruments. We travel our band with us. We've got a bowron player, which if you haven't heard that instrument, it's a traditional Irish instrument, and it really acts as the heartbeat of our entire piece. And then we have we travel a whistle player who I think plays 17 different flutes
Wow.
during the show.
Holy jeez.
Yeah. And we have two guitar players that pass off, sitars and mandolins and several different kinds of guitars. It's very special and very unique to our show.
Yeah, and you know what else I love about modern day? I think even goes. I shouldn't even say modern day. I mean, actually, it's more traditional. Is a lot of people that have never experienced a musical before. I think they probably have in mind that it's probably piped in music, and you're singing to this piped in music. But it is live musicians each and every show, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And unlike the typical musical, we don't have a pit where our band is hidden for like the sort of magical
Oh,
quality of those traditional
cool.
musicals. They're on stage with us. And there's even a moment in the show where they get up from their seats and we all kind of dance together. It's very cool.
I love it. What has the touring experience been like for yourself, Julie? Some people relish the opportunity to travel to all these new places, and others get homesick. What's it been like for you personally?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both of those
Okay.
things. This is my second tour. I toured as Carole King in Beautiful, the Carole King musical, and I was 23 when I did that. So that was quite the experience, the life experience to have. And this being my second tour, I know what I need to feel at home. Like, for example, you're seeing me in a beautiful Airbnb, and I know that that makes me feel really taken care of and makes me feel like I can actually live in the cities that we're touring through. And I think touring with this show in particular, the way that people are affected by it, the audiences in these some smaller towns, for example, South Bend, we're here and these people are so excited to have us here. And that makes touring so special in a
Oh,
way
yeah.
that, Broadway, they come to see you. Here you
Exactly,
come to their
exactly.
homes.
I cannot wait to see it. I'm going to see you on opening night. Really looking forward to you joining us here in
Oh,
Ottawa. Thanks so
good.
much, Julie. I'll remind you, it's the NAC starting December 27th.